like getting faded with some bitches from the west side, east coast, nigga rapping north side, never with.
Alright, what's good fam? So welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to document today because I have my first half marathon tomorrow. I figured why not pick up the camera, show you guys a little bit of like the pre-marathon prep stuff. I was just watching Nick Bare. He's kind of been my inspiration for my hybrid training style recently with running and lifting. I figured I'd watch over his stuff to see how he does his high carb day and like day before marathon. Right now I'm about to go run a 2-miler, kind of like a shake off run is what he calls it. Super light. I did a 2.5 miler yesterday. I'll probably just do another small one today and then do some mobility work downstairs. And then we have to go pick up our bibs today. I think that's what they're called. So they're like the things with the numbers on it. I'm on call today too, so I'll be seeing patients if they come in. If not, I'll probably just try to edit the YouTube video that I have coming soon, and then do some Instagram work for my short form stuff. Just like a little carousel to catch up on like my life lately. So the race tomorrow is at 6:15 a.m. I don't wake up till 7 a.m. That's not my routine, but 6:15 a.m. So we're probably gonna get up around 4:30 to 5 a.m., which means I gotta be in bed around like 8 to 9 and like actually sleep. So that's our day looking like. Ignore all this, by the way. This is all the stuff in my balcony. And also my brother's here visiting for the weekend, so he has like his suitcase, if you can tell right there.
30-day trial before I made my mind, it is always trials and tribulations. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Kissing in Paris, I guess we could do it in French. Wow. Eating lo mein, it's ciao for now. Ciao, ciao. She got me wildin' now. Rory Italian, ciao for now, ciao, ciao. Yeah, she making that shake, breaking that bait till her back break. Wow, yeah, yeah. Crazy how you managed to make me into a sponsor. You got me paying for shit.
We got the ASRV shorts, the socks from Stance that say World's Best Boss, the Hoka shoes. It's beautiful outside right now, if you can tell. We are gonna be running without a shirt on. That's the outfit for today. Today's a really short run anyways, but lately I've been wearing a hat just because I feel like with the perm and the longer hair, I've noticed like some breakouts on the forehead, and I really think now I've solved the problem. I found out there's something called pomade acne. Past when I had longer hair and it would touch my cheeks, I would break out from that. So maybe it's some oils or something from the proteins that kind of makes me break out. So we got a new product coming in today, which I'm excited to try out. We're gonna wear a hat just to kind of prevent it from like kind of hitting it. We got the shades from Blenders out here in San Diego. Easy run today. Then I'm gonna probably go to the gym downstairs to do a little mobility work and before I get my day started.
You got a 2-day trial before I take back my time and make you.
All right guys, so we are just about done. 2 miles in. Honestly, today felt really good. It was a little bit hard to kind of hold myself back. First mile was a 9:30 pace. Second one, I think we're coming up on 10. All in all, I'm okay with it. We did go a bit too fast on the first mile. Honestly, because it's my first half marathon, I'm okay with, oh, we just hit it. 2 miles. The second one was a 10:48 pace. This is my first one. I was talking to my brother about this, but I'm gonna try not to time too much just because I don't know what my actual pace is for racing. So I feel like between 8 to 9, wherever it is in between, I'm gonna try to maintain. But halfway through, you know, on mile like 7 or 8, if I feel good, I decide to bump it up to like a 7:30 pace, I'm gonna do it because again, I don't know how I feel off a real racing pace yet. So a little shakeout. We're gonna go back, foam roll a little bit, do some mobility work at the gym, and we'll call that for today.
They hate a bitch, but they stole the flow. Got back in after back in coming. Fuck with my stole the show. Done run up on that bitch, she a head case. All she do is shoot. I signed my deal up on the PJ and hopped out in parachute. I'm geeked on next week, got no more features. I might just scourge you. I'm geeked on next week, got no more features. I might embarrass you. Tag off, stomp a little pussy.
I'm down here. I'm gonna meet up with my boy Calvin, and I thought there was gonna be a ton of traffic coming downtown, so I parked my car way down there. Parked unnecessarily far for this, but it's dope. So his building's right here, the one next to me, and he's actually right outside of the finish line for tomorrow. So that's the finish line right here. I just saw this man come out, but hey!
What's up?
This is my boy Calvin.
What's up, y'all?
We're both running the half marathon tomorrow, and this is the end. This is the finish line.
Man, it came
It's
out
sick.
really good.
Like I parked all the way down there, like 5 blocks down. When I could have just parked, there's like some park. There's like parking right. No, over there.
Yeah, but that one's blocked.
But there's some like down a lot closer too. So we're gonna go pick up our bibs. That's what they're called, right? Bibs.
Yeah.
Bibs. Get our numbers.
Man, I'm feeling good. Honestly, only had 4 weeks to prepare because I was super spontaneous about signing up, but I've been preparing. I feel good.
I think I had a little bit more time, but I think we talked about it before. The last like 3 weeks, I was just traveling. I was out of town. Bro, did I tell you when I went back home, my parents rented out my bedroom
Oh,
to a
shit.
family friend. So I was sleeping on an air mattress at home.
All bad.
So I was like sleeping on an air mattress at home. We were struggling. We were thugging it out at home. And I still ran my 12 miles. Hopefully, all I want is under 2 hours.
Yeah,
That's what we said, right?
Honestly, bro, like what I'm shooting for, I do want to hit under 2 hours, but it's more so about how I feel.
Yeah.
Like I want to make sure that I give all my effort.
Yeah.
As long as I know I gave my full effort and I really pushed myself, then I'll be happy.
Yeah, so I was just running today. I was doing my shake off today, and I was just like thinking, I did like a 9:30 as a shake off, like 2 miles easy.
Okay.
And I was like, usually I was aiming for a 10, but honestly, since it's my first half marathon, I'm like, I might as well feel it out because I don't really know what my race time is.
Right, exactly.
So let's say I do run a 7:45, I'll take it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not running a 7:45,
I
but
know.
we're
On the
being
first
bold. We're gonna speak it into existence.
I'm a strike. Sauce. I'm a strike, Cole and Yachty coming for their respect. Come and pay your debt. Just like a travel pillar, we at your neck for the way you slept.
Like Fitness Expo meant like you're just gonna go and pick up your tickets, but guys, this shit is, it's like a festival. What number again?
18421. 18,000.
So you picked 18,000. Mine's 5,000. So I'm not exactly sure what timing I picked. What was your timing that you picked?
Mine was I shot for 2 hours. I put it out.
Okay. Oh, I definitely did an hour 30 then or some shit like that. Let me go take a look. I'm probably gonna have to change
Good
it.
at making decks. Thanks to God, I made it out the city. Most would say I'm blessed. My greatest flex is that I made a million.
Picked up our bibs. We got a bag. Y'all, just saying. I paid $120 for this race, and they can't do better bags than like this plastic grocery one.
How they profit off of racial stress. Some activists got so rich they probably wish we stay oppressed. Studio steppers moving extra on songs faking rep. Only breaking bad in the lab. Thought y'all
This
was
man Calvin
making
got a
meth.
large and I got
Niggas
an
making
XL.
threats and I laugh. That's cause you ain't a threat. Don't ask.
That was a dope experience. So where it's located, the venue just now was way towards the end of that street. I parked too far away because I thought the streets were gonna be closed up, and I just checked my watch, I'm at 11,596, so almost 1,600 steps the day before a marathon. We did do that 2 mile run, which contributed to it, but I feel like I've just been on my feet too much. We picked up our stuff. These shirts, San Diego Rock and Roll. Pretty dope. I got mine in an XL, which is gonna be pretty large, but I figured that with these type of t-shirts, I'm probably gonna use them as kind of like a pump cover or like a comfy shirt. We got our bib. 5997 is my number. I'm excited, man. I feel like this is a new challenge, and every year I've done something different where like it used to be just cutting down for the summertime. Last year it was picking up boxing, and now this year it's been running. I'm enjoying it, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see kind of like where I place. I'm pretty competitive. Like my goal is under 2 hours, but hey, if your boy happens to be feeling good and runs a 145 or 130, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but I won't complain. I'm excited. I feel like this is something that I wanted to do for a bit now, and who knows, it could be the start of something new that I fall in love with. We're about to go ahead and I'm gonna do an IV for one of my friends. His name is Robert. I'll be running in the race tomorrow, so he asked me to do an IV for him. Then I gotta go home, grab some dinner, do some client check-ins, and kind of end off the night there. Thank you guys for tagging along. I'm excited. Hopefully I can show you a little bit of what it's like tomorrow. I won't be able to carry the camera with me, obviously, but I'll be able to show you whatever I can. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of this video. Thank you guys for tapping in like usual. And you know, if this inspires any of you guys who happen to start running or do a 5K or a half marathon or a marathon, whatever it is, I hope this can somehow give you value or entertainment on it. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. What up, what up, what up, what up?
Sir.
That's it. Yo, this place is low-key stressful, but first half marathon. Let's go.
Prince of a town called Bella in West Philadelphia. Born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all shooting some b-ball outside of the school. When a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and
Tell me it's too early. Right there on the tray. Here's the lime if you need a lime.
Nah.
It's not too early if you've been up since 3 in the morning.
She gave me a kiss and then she gave me my ticket. I put my Walkman on and said I might as well kick it. First class, yo, this is bad. Drinking orange juice out of a champagne glass. This is what the people of Bel Air living like. This might be alright, but wait, I hear the perceived bourgeois and all that. Is this the type of place that they should send this cool cat? I don't think so. I see when I get there. I hope they're prepared.
It's good. How was it? It's good. It didn't track the first point 15, but 143.
Yet I just got here. I sprang with the quickness like lightning disappeared.
Go ahead and show me how you go. And I feel my whole body peeking. And I'm fucking anybody with their legs wide. Getting faded with some bitches from the west side. East Coast nigga rapping north side. Never waste a whole time. Bitch, I'm on my own time. Fuck a nigga cosign. Always change my number and my phone line. Baby girl, I don't lie. Used to have no money.
Alright, check. 1, 2. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I've been in this location before recording a video. When I try to record here, I don't know why, it's always so windy. So every single time I have no luck and I'm like 0 for 2 at this location for a YouTube video. I just want to come on here because I realized that as I was finishing up this video that you guys are watching right now, I never made an outro for the half marathon. It's been about 2 months since the half marathon. Talk about my experience with running, the half marathon, or any tips that I might be able to give you guys who want to get started with running. February of this year, I started running and I'm wanting to get into it. Then I signed up for the half marathon about a month later and I decided to do it, and that was in June. So I had about 4 months to prepare for it, and like those weren't the best 4 months, but I definitely learned a lot, and I feel like I'm at the point now where I'm pretty consistent with running and I have some experience behind it where I can give out a little bit of advice, especially for beginners. You know, if you're a seasoned runner, then this probably isn't for you. And honestly, if you're someone who's not really interested in running and you don't really want to get into it, and like maybe a marathon isn't your thing, then this portion of the video probably isn't even important for you. So if you want to click off, go for it. Just please, if you did enjoy the video, like it, subscribe, turn on the notifications for the next ones, because I have a lot of content that I've filmed these last couple months in between that are coming out. That being said, I went to a new place today to get a poke bowl. It's called Poke Etc. And that's on National City in San Diego out here. And I saw it on Instagram. I don't really eat out much, and I really don't like to waste my calories or waste my money like that, especially since I usually try to stay regimented most of the time. I'm open to trying more foods, especially as kind of like the summer's ending. I'm not really worried about, you know, having abs as much or being as like lean. Maybe what I'll do is whenever I create a YouTube video or when I create a Instagram reel or something like that, I'll treat myself to like a meal out or something, and that way I can show you guys what I have, and I can also go explore a little bit, because I haven't been able to explore all the restaurants. I just keep saving them up in my Instagram folder. Guys, it looks fire. I don't know if you can see that. Before I kind of start digging in, I do want to just go over my experience with everything. So with the half marathon, I used to do cross country back in the day in high school. So this is, I don't know, 10 plus years ago, I think. I did cross country only for the sole fact because my friends were doing it and I hated running. And I played basketball, I played tennis, and those were like my main sports. After that season, I was like, I'm never gonna run long distance again, because it was never fun, it was painful. I hated running. Until this year, I was in the same mindset. If you guys don't know, I'm an online fitness trainer, and a lot of my clients ask me about running, and I actually don't prescribe it a lot of times. And my whole reason for it has always been because, one second, I'm gonna quench the thirst a little bit. This is a brand. They actually reached out to me one time to work together and I did a promo for them. There was a plane accident which killed 130 something passengers one day. His father was part of it. So I remember when they first started the company, he reached out and said, I'll send you like a pack of like 5. Could you just give us a little promo shout out? And I was like, sure, I love energy drinks. And now it's in 7-Elevens. When I see something like that, it's dope. This one's called the OG Sparkling Luck. Alright, I should have went with something more fruitier. This kind of tastes like a little Red Bull, but it's not bad. It's not as like strong. Back to what I was saying was, I was anti-running, and to most people who want to just lose body fat, let's say your goal is purely aesthetics, I usually don't recommend running. And that's because running usually puts a toll on your legs, so then you can't train legs, tires you out more, so you're gonna be more hungry afterwards. So there's a lot of downfalls to running when it comes to just losing body fat. So if your goal is primarily to look a certain way, running is probably not your best bet. If your goal is performance, endurance, and cardiovascular health, then running is a great addition. Let's say you're 50 to 100 pounds overweight and you just want to lose body fat first. I would say stick with the primary goal of low intensity cardio. Maybe if you want to start running, you can, but don't make that your main focus to increase your mileage and get more miles on, because that's not really the main goal. Your main goal is to really just lose body fat, and then once you do, then go start running and get really good at it. So I heard this story about the tale of 2 rabbits, and it's pretty simple. Like this guy, right, he's trying to catch these 2 rabbits. There's one like he's trying to catch over here, another one he's trying to catch over here. He keeps flip-flopping between the both, and then at the end of the day, he catches neither. So with that story, it's kind of similar to your goals or like the things you're focusing on. Is when you're starting to chase too much at once, you end up failing at both. When you have goals that don't match up and they don't synchronize, then you end up taking a lot longer to get to your end goal. What I try to get here is try not to, just because everyone else is doing it, try not to only do it because of that. If you really want to get into running, it's a great thing to get into. But if your goal is purely to lose body fat, then focus on that. My experience with this half marathon, I actually did a lot better than I thought I was gonna do. Looking back at it, I kept saying in the video, maybe I'll get 145, maybe I'll get 130. I just kept saying that and praying that I would get under 2 hours, because going into it, I didn't expect to get under 2 hours. I thought maybe like 150, 140, 59 or something like that, but I really didn't expect much out of it. And we ended off, and I'll show you the screenshot here, we ended off at 145. That was great, and I feel bad for my boy Calvin, because thought initially you had to start right away, and then you realize that you don't have to start with the cohort you're with. But what happens is if you don't start with your group that you had estimated your time with, the further back you go, the slower pace it is. The pace I think was like 10 minutes. Super slow to start with, which like low-key was good, because usually you want to start off a little bit slower with your runs. But we were just kind of stuck in this crowd because there's so many people, if you could see from the video, so you couldn't really pass them. So then at mile 2, I remember I turned to Calvin because it started to get loosened up. I was like, hey bro, I'm just gonna kind of like take off a little bit, and I just went off. So my mileage, and I'll show it again here, went from like 10:10 right to into like a 7 for the rest of the run, and I went from like 7:40, 7:30, 7:15. Like I was going off, and I really didn't expect that. I trained and I didn't really run in the 7s. I was really running in the 8s and 9s. So that's like a good tip. Your race pace is really not gonna be your training pace, and it shouldn't be at any point unless you like really want to test it out one day. And I've been loving it, you know. I'm one of those people that once I start to find something I really enjoy doing, I become like addicted to it. First this year was boxing. I started doing that every single week. Then with like content creating was the same way. I started like getting into camera stuff, really just like wanting to create more. And I know consistency has been a problem, but like I do think about it literally every single day. That's one trait that I think is like a double-edged sword for me. That being said, I'm gonna have to cut down on a lot of this, but I'm gonna start eating my meal, and then we'll go over kind of tips for your first marathon and end off the video there. Quick little taste test too. Smells so fire. Yeah, that's pretty good. Definitely recommend it. Poke, etc. Salmon is fresh. Highly recommend it if you want like one of those hole in the wall spots. But I'll talk to y'all right after this Wow, I just went to go sit in the shade over there, and there was little berries on the ground, And I just don't understand how people just sit on the grass. The moment I sat down, I regretted it. And today's just been one of those days where, you guys ever have those days where you're just kind of like a little bit out of it? Things just aren't exactly going your way, but you're not having a bad day. I was throwing that stuff out and like the sauce turned it over and it dripped on here. It's kind of running a little bit slower, but we're getting it done, we're getting it done, we're getting it done. Here's a couple tips I wrote down to help you guys kind of get into running or do your first half marathon, or just some tips about running that I've noticed that maybe they can help you guys out. Try it out, especially if it's something that you've been looking at. I want to make it seem like it's not that scary for you guys, you know? My number one tip will be first to have a training plan. I think that everyone should have a training plan no matter what you're doing, and you can find them for free. I was using the Nike Run app, and I still do to this day, Nike Run app. And it has all your programs here. It's literally for free. You can download it and you can start running right away. It'll list out what you need to do, and you don't have to do them all. People are always like, oh, I don't have 5 days to go running. Then just do 2 or 3, you know? Something's better than nothing. So just getting it done is being better than perfect. And adjusting it for your own needs, so how many days you're realistically gonna go. And I think in the app, it's gonna start you off with like a 15-minute run to start with. But definitely have something to follow. That way you kind of know what you're doing, because the worst thing you can do is say you're going to start doing something, do it once, and then just don't do it for 3 weeks. 3, I said starting off slow. So that's something big that I had to teach myself, because in the past, whenever I used to run, it was always start as fast as possible, run off the gate. And I think that's why I ended up not succeeding at it, was because by mile 1 or 2, at the end of those, I'd be gassed out and I just wasn't having fun. So try to start off slow. If you feel like you're going slow, that's normal and just like ease your way into it. Another tip is don't worry too much about your numbers and your pace in the beginning. I did that too. I was like, I'm gonna try to get a 6-minute pace per mile. Realistically, that didn't happen at all, because I'd be exhausted. My whole thing was to get my miles up of how many miles I'm running per week. But if your whole goal is like, okay, I'm gonna keep getting faster every single week, then there's no way for you to get faster with your mileage per mile and also increase your mileage at the same time. Like, that's almost impossible for you to, in 5 weeks, to run 5 more miles than you have been, but also decrease it by a whole minute. Like, that's very tough. Start off slow, don't expect numbers. Some of my best runs are the ones where I just go out and run for 30 minutes. I try not to look at my watch, and I just kind of run for 30 minutes. And then what happens is you sometimes impress yourself, because you're just like, oh wow, look, like I just ran for 30 minutes. It felt easy, and it was like maybe 20 seconds more than I usually run, or 20 seconds per mile more. Hydration and fuel. I usually like to run fasted in the morning. I still do run fasted in the morning, and it's just something I like to do. During the half marathon, I did eat like a protein bar or a bagel beforehand. I forgot what it was. Figure out who you are, because I've always been a fasted trainer. I would always train fasted and also do my cardio fasted. So it's something that's almost been engraved. I always have intermittent fasted since like high school, just because I picked it up. I just enjoyed it. You know, I enjoy being fasted in the morning. I enjoy eating bigger meals later in the day. So when I do my runs, I'm usually fasted, and I like it because I'm light. Experiment. Use your time before your half marathons to experiment with that. You're not supposed to, you know, immediately pick one thing and just stick with it forever. Like, you could try to go a little bit lighter on your meals. You could do more carbs in the morning. Some people run with like 50 to 100 grams of carbs, especially if they're doing a marathon. When you're doing your marathon, it's a bit different, because you are running for 13 to 26 miles, and then hydration is huge. More than just water, but electrolytes and salt. When you run, you're gonna deplete yourself a lot of sodium, so try to add in salt to your meals, a little bit more salt than normal. Don't be afraid of salt. People are always so afraid because America has demonize salt for some reason, but salt is something that you need in your body. And especially if you work out a lot, if you're in somewhere like San Diego, Texas, Florida, where you sweat a lot, you're gonna need more sodium. Use electrolytes like I know LMNT is a very good brand, not sponsored by any of these. I use the electrolyte formula by Transparent Lab. You can use Liquid IV. Do some sort of electrolyte in the morning before you run, and then also try to squeeze it in after, so sandwich it in is what I like to do. Be getting at least a gallon of water a day at minimum. And then when you talk about nutrition, protein is huge too. Don't neglect your protein. I know you got to increase your carbs for foods, but always make sure that you're getting enough protein in your meals. And usually it's about 1 gram per pound of body weight, and that's just baseline for anything you do. Proper running shoes. The Hoka Clifton 9s, and I was running in like these Nikes beforehand. I noticed my feet, I was getting 1, a lot of blisters on them, and 2, I would get ankle problems in mile 5 to 7. I did a little research on it, and sometimes your shoes will have a big effect, especially if they're not like proper running shoes. So I see people running with Jordans, Metcons. They're great for training, but if you're like trying to run a long distance, your knees and ankles will thank you if you actually get proper running shoes. Whether it's like gym clothing clothing, training plans, coaches, shoes, all these things, like if they help you become better, see it as an investment. You're gonna spend that same exact amount of money at the bar on a Saturday or Sunday brunch. You're gonna spend that like that when you're out and about. So when you can invest in something that will last you for a while and it's something that you really want to get into, it's an investment. And I just want to wrap up here because I know the last clip was already long. I don't want this one to be OD long too. My last tip is really a combination of just have fun and do it for yourself. And that goes for like any goal, I would say. You gotta enjoy the process. The enjoyment part comes a little bit later as you get more consistent with it. I think the biggest thing with people is like, you'll start a goal, you won't have as much fun as you expected, and then stop the goal, and then you just never get started again. And I think what happens, one, is people wait for friends too much. So this happens way too much as far as like starting a fitness goal, traveling, business, whatever, relationship, whatever it is, you end up waiting for people. The worst thing you could do is wait for someone, they don't show up, and then you never show up. And I hate that excuse. I think going to the gym with a friend is one of the best things you can do. Friend, family members, I think like if you can get started with it, it's great. But don't let that be a factor of why you never do it or get it done. For example, I have clients who they like to go with their friends and they like to wait for them and they share the same training plan. Great, I don't care. But I do care when they don't go to the gym because they try to wait for their friend. Now it's 7 p.m. Their friend doesn't want to go. They're demotivated. They're not really feeling it. And then they don't go at all. And I like have to say straight up, you're the one paying me money. You want to lose body fat. So this is on you. At the end of the day, I'm going to go about my goals in my life, but you have to hold yourself accountable. If I can say something, it's like learn to really invest yourself into it. Don't let other factors push you away from it and whatever goal you want. Right now, a lot of people want to live healthier. They also have friends, and especially in like San Diego, that party a lot. I used to be out on the streets every week, and I used to party every weekend. I used to say like, oh, I go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week, I can go party 2 days. That's your goal, yes, but now my goal has changed. It's to create content, it's to travel, build a business, live healthier, run marathons. Goals have changed now. I stopped going out. A lot of my friends are like, hey, what happened? You've changed, you don't go out as much anymore. I haven't seen you. Well, the reason is because the only time you invite me out or like you only see me is when we drink, and I'm not trying to drink like that, you know? If you want to go out for dinner, call me anytime. If you want to go out for lunch, let me know. A coffee, yes. You're always inviting me out to a happy hour. You go out for the weekend. I'm gonna start saying no, and you have to too. If your goal is to live this healthier lifestyle and build it up, there has to be some sacrifice. You just want to be sure of how hard you want to go. You want to be someone that's halfway in. You're gonna get results. It might take a little bit longer. It might take 2-3 years longer, but you're gonna enjoy yourself during it. There's nothing wrong with that. Or do you want to supercharge it, really dial it in, get to this goal, and then enjoy some fruits of the labor in the end? That's a little rant on my end. This doesn't sound harsh to y'all, but it's something that I've really learned this year and I'm super passionate about now, trying to become better. And it's sometimes lonely, but I also just went on a whole trip to Bali by myself, and like that's because no one else wanted to book their trip and I couldn't wait around for people. Don't let your external factors control your internal reactions and like what you do, because you have a life to live, and if you want to do something, if you want to be someone great, and if you want to do something even better, like please live your life. Don't let other people stop you. It's gonna be so long. At the end of the day, when it comes to running half marathons, whatever your goal is, have fun with it. Do it with people you enjoy being with, and just enjoy the process. That's all I can say. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you guys as always. I know I already said it, but please like, subscribe, comment down below what else you'd like to see. But I have a lot of content coming out for y'all. And yeah, peace.